Hey, good morning, everybody. Comment allez-vous? It is Thursday, March 15th, 2018, daily Forex trading strategy session. Namaste. Welcome to Forex.Today. Why haven't I updated the photo of yourself in your bio? What bio? What in the other one? Which one? Which one are you talking about? Anyways, let me remind you that trading, you can't see me, can you? Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk when you can't afford to lose. You mean this one? This bio? Wait, oh, you don't have sound? Oh, okay. I have like my USB ports seem to be acting weird. But okay. Someone asked about my picture and my bio and all that. Anyways, my name is Wayne McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. It's a real pleasure serving you every morning. I'm here Monday through Friday on behalf of TradersWay.com. These sessions are 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, here at Forex.Today. We do this because it's a great time. The session opens. It's also London lunch. So it's a good time to get together as a community. Today we'll go over technical analysis, look at some trade plans. Could be a good trading day. We've gotten a lot of the news for the week past us. So maybe the skids are greased for some easy trading. I think it'll be a good day. So if you like these sessions, please go to TradersWay.com and open up at least a demo account. Give us an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. We would like to be the prime broker for your successful trading business. And I have been charged with the duties of helping you become a success sooner than later. Will you work with me on my goal, please? And how have the sessions been, let's say, over the last month? How have I been doing? Give me some feedback. Yeah? Doing great. Nice. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. On it. Helpful. Last week, really good as well. Priceless. Excellent education. Very nice. Do you have what are some of my weaknesses that I could work on? People used to tell me I was an arrogant prick. And no, seriously. I'm like, well, I'm a confident person. I kind of think you have to be a confident person. Maybe not, but to be a trader. And so maybe it comes across wrong. I don't know. Certainly have been told more than once. And I'm like, Mom. Ted says, man, don't change anything. No, I don't think so, but you have earned the right to be arrogant. Thanks for teaching the way. Yeah, every day, cool. Oh, Ted says, I've lost the arrogance. Well, maybe that's maturity, right? Well, then that's cool. I'd like to think that I can grow and adapt as a human being. That's cool. All right, let me fire up my charts. Life is great. You can see me in an FX Morning Radio. Yeah, so someone asked about Kudlow, and I'm like, I'm somewhere between a Kudlow and a Kramer. when it comes to what I do every morning, I think. But I don't think I've met Kudlow personally, but I've been in the same room as Kudlow. Does that count? So for people that don't know, he's been on one of the news networks, CNBC, for, I don't know, forever, 20 years, 30 years, I don't know. He's been around a very long time. And in fact, it was touching where I think it was yesterday I was listening to Bloomberg radio in the shower, and the Bloomberg guy that's been around for many, many years, what's that guy's name? And I've shared this, well, I didn't share. What's that guy's name? Does anybody know who I'm talking about? The Bloomberg guy, the Bloomberg radio guy. I'm having a brain fart. Not Tom Keene. Yeah, I guess is it Tom Keene? Yeah, the older guy. He's big, right? Yeah. So, anyways, I've been on the same stage as Tom Keene in New York. He spoke on a stage, and he was getting off, surrounded by a bunch of people, and then I came in a room, surrounded by a bunch of people, and we kind of, our people passed. My people must have rubbed against shoulders against Tom Keene's people, and then I got up on stage, and he got off stage, and I'm like, hey, where's the projector cable? And he's like, eh. So that's how well I know Tom Keene. But so Tom Keene is on a competing network, also super smart, super nice guy.
Just National Bank, Jordan, making the media rounds. Just
anyways, and he said that he knows Kudlow a little bit, and back in the day when they were young, and they were probably less competitors back then, probably just young guys hustling in the financial media world. He said he saw Kudlow do the math on some complicated macroeconomic thing and just was brilliant, like totally knew his stuff, right? So he wasn't just a commentator. He knew the math. He had the education. And then, of course, if you're in media, you have the opinion, right? So Tom Keene went from finance to then doing, sorry, not Tom Keene. Larry Kudlow went from doing finance every morning on TV to becoming a little more political. I guess maybe as he matured, it was sort of the bigger picture stuff, right? The policy and stuff. But he is very famous to the finance world in the United States and presumably around the world. And so now he's running the business side of Washington, D.C. for President Trump. So very interesting story. So I've been in the same room as Tom Keene and Larry Kudlow. So we're tight, man. I'm next, is what I'm saying. I'm going to be the first Canadian to work in the White House. But I can't be president, so we'll have to change the rules. Yeah. Oscillators. All right. Well, let's do that. I just want to give you an update, like on the market. This is why I got Trade the News up and running. One of the things they have is down on the bottom. I can't share it on low res, I guess. We can do things like the VIX falling. Why is this so messed up? It's not fitting my screen like it normally does. Gold down 0.35, 0.035, I should say. Oil up at just over 0.5%. 10-year Tino flat at 2.82. VIX down to 17. See, I have to put that into context. Maybe 2 months ago, right? Maybe 2 months ago, it was at like 9 or even lower. I think I threw out a theory pretty quickly, like when it gets down to that level, one strategy is just simply to buy it. I don't know about it being overbought or overpriced, but you know, it's falling now from where it was days ago and last week. It's now only 17, but remember, it was at 9. Okay. Oh, going back to the Trump thing, firing. Now think about it, actually. So again, I'm not in love with Trump. Let's just put it. Let's put you in the same situation. You are a long shot to win president of the United States. You have no political connections really because you're an independent business person. Okay, you're not a Wall Street, or sorry, you're not a Washington D.C. career politician, right? You are not in the junior government in elementary school. Okay, you can't recite the Declaration of Independence or something like that, right? You're a business person, great. But because you have the opportunity and you're rich and all that kind of stuff, you're like, this will be fun. Let me run for president of the United States. And oops, son of a gun, you win. So now you have like, what is it, like 2 months, 3 months to put together a cabinet. But you're not a Washington, D.C. political person. All of a sudden you're like, I don't know anybody in this town. Who do I get to be the minister of forestry? You know? So all of a sudden you rely on a lot of people that are already in Washington, D.C. You're surrounded by a whole team and a whole staff and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, you got to pick your cabinet. Who's going to be the minister of forestry? I don't know. Oh, well, here's the person that was, and here's the person that's in the department behind that person, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, take Jim. Take Jim. I'll listen to your recommendations, right? And it goes on and on and on and on. And all of a sudden you're filling your cabinet and all the way to your staff with that surround you in the White House and stuff. But you got to make some quick decisions. People that, more junior but more sort of local Washington, D.C. people just give you stacks of resumes and you're like, no, 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 maybe, no, 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 maybe, no, 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 maybe. All right, I got 3 I might choose. So you go through, you interview 3 and you pick the least of the 3 scumbags, right? And now you got a new person in charge of your this department that you've just staffed, right? And now, boom, suddenly you take the oath. I am president of the United States. Boom! Yay! And then what? Then what happens? Then you're like, these Washington, D.C. a-holes suck. They say one thing to my face, and then they go over there and they do something completely different. I got to get rid of these career politicians. They're two-faced, right? So, but now you got time, and now you got some experience. You tested the waters with some of these guys, and you're like, well, I need something different from my Secretary of State. I need someone different, and you start to do your thing. So that's how I look at what's happening. You got to give Trump in that situation some room to breathe because he has to build his cabinet. And let's face it, career politicians are scumbags. Well, from a person's point of view, right? Now, maybe that's important in diplomacy, but if you're a businessman, your senior vice president or director or whatever can't say something to your face, and you're like, you go there and you kick their butts. You don't take that from the Chinese. You go out there and he's like, yes, sir, I'm gonna go kick some Chinese butt, right? And then you go to China and you're like, oh, my boss is so mean to me, right? And then you're like, I just heard through the grapevine, through all our little spies in Beijing, that you sucked up and whined while you were there. You were supposed to be the tip of my spear, and all you showed up was with tears. You're having fired, bro. Right? So anyways, I think that's kind of what's going on. I think that's what's going on anyways. Okay? All right. Yes, Brooke. Thank you very much for the donation to the Cigar and Whiskey Fund. Namaste. I am saving that. I'm building it up and building it up to get something very nice. Really appreciate that. I'm having a wine cellar built downstairs. And so my wife and I had to go through some of the wine I have stored. And we're like, wow, 92 Cabernet Sauvignon. 1992, yeah. There's like a 1997 Chardonnay, and it's like, it's looking good. There's a 2002 something down there. I have one bottle of wine from 1974. Might be a little old. But anyways, I'm like, ooh, it's good. So I thought, excuse me. So I thought I would save up my little fund and get something nice for the shelf or something. Something then I could say my fabulous community bought that as a gift for me. So anyways, thank you. All right. So my email is wayne@fxbootcamp.com. Okay, cool. All right, so let's just move on .com. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Where did we leave off yesterday? Well, we were talking about Aussie dollar. And there was some news. Oh, come on, drawing tool. How about this one? There was some news. And didn't we have this drawn like this? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Didn't we have it drawn something like that? Okay. And we said, and bear in mind, at that time it was doing this, right? So we said this little spot here is gray line is monthly pivot, and the red zone, right, is the weekly pivot profit zone, which means anyone long should get out, and that sets you up for any vulnerability on the higher time frames, right? What do you think now? How did we do? I mean, you don't have to sell it, but at least know when to get out, right? So Daniel says I need to come visit him in Hong Kong by Monday morning. My wife and kids are going to kill me, Daniel. I'm so bad. You understand how poor of a job I'm doing as a husband and as a father, working 24 hours a day, not sleeping at night, focused on school. I'm constantly, wherever I go, I'm like, yeah, well, I'll just bring my books. Oh, I'll just bring my laptop. I'll just bring my tablet and I'll do this while everyone else is doing that. So I'm like this all the time. And then I'm up all night. I gotta make phone calls, right? Make phone calls. Then I'm like, hey, yeah. Oh, I don't think I've actually told them. I'm like, I'm gonna fly to Hong Kong on the weekend. I'm just gonna get this like, well, then you should just stay there kind of look. But the last time I visited Daniel, you know what we didn't do? It's the most amazing thing. It occurred to me we didn't have any Chinese food. I was in China for 10 days and never had any Chinese food. Didn't even occur to me to leave the Ritz-Carlton Club. I'm like, why would you leave this place? Right? The funniest story is when I'm like, the waiter's like, hey, you can have, if you want a beer, you can have a beer. I can bring you another one. In fact, if you want to take a beer to your room, by all means, I'll set it all up and you can take beer to your room. I'm like, yeah, that's really good. Can I have more than one? He's like, sure, you have more than one. How many would you like? I'm like, at least a dozen, right? I think Daniel was there for that. And the guy's like, okay, like not a hesitation. Okay. And he goes up to get a bag. I'm like, whoa, 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 dude. Dude, I don't need a dozen Asahis. I'm just joking. But he's like, just whatever. So, like, how could you leave a place like that? You're like, you know what I feel like right now? Let me think of it. I feel like a port wine. I'd like some dry cheese. And do you have nuts? I don't want peanuts, though. I like almonds and Brazil nuts. But I don't want them, like, salted. I just want them roasted. Could I have that, like, now? Yes, sir. Oh, and if you don't mind, just a small glass of red wine on this side. I know I like to sip the port, but I like to drink the wine. So could I just have that like now? Yes, sir. Even though it's like midnight. Yes, sir. Anything you want, sir. Cool. I'm going to sit over there. It's a little dark. Can you turn the light up? But not too much. Right? Like, how do you leave a place like that? So anyways, it occurred to me, I was there for 10 days in Hong Kong, and we never had Chinese food. So we got to fix that if I come out. So anyways, what a life, huh? So then I get back to the wife and kids. I'm like, yeah, I would like, I'd like some seared salmon. Can you do that for me? They're like, you get that yourself. What? So anyways, Aussie dollar went up, hit resistance, and stopped. What's your takeaway here? Okay. Also, do you remember after the news, after retail sales, we had dollar weakness across the board, right? What did we learn from there? Because a lot of people make so much of a big deal about the news. Like, it was a great scalping event, but it never lasted. In fact, excuse me. In fact, to kind of put this together, this is the retail sales news spike. It sat up here for 45 minutes and down. No, that's okay, though. I did, and I brought it back. But what's the takeaway? Okay, news, post-news. So what happened? This news, this retail sales, it was a bad number. We missed it. We got a negative number, not a positive number. How can a negative number be good, right? And like, oh my God, all this kind of stuff. But this was already predetermined. The higher level stuff. The stuff we talked about, right? So that's Wednesday. This was predetermined. Trying to go back, see if we can go far enough. So this on a monthly scale now, monthly, not minute, right? This is not perfect, granted, but I don't have this weekly stuff in there. You can get climbed up pretty quickly. Right? This is the role reversal area, right? But anyways, it jumped up there pretty quickly. We're playing monthly pivots here with the weekly on top. Okay? So if I get around to starting the swing trading group, I'm having trouble doing it just because I'm busy, man. Like, I'm busy. Like, if I'm flying to Hong Kong on Sunday, when are we gonna do a swing trading group, right? So I'm struggling with that, but I'm trying to do it. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm saying I need to get my life together. We'll do this because the reason I say that now is that we knew, for example, down here, this was buyish. Weekly tied into monthly, okay? And this is where we talked about there's nothing on the chart that says up, but it says up. And you're like, well, son of a gun, right? This is where amateurs or even pretty decent traders are going to lose money, right? Because they're going to keep selling this rally. We talked about, like, I don't know if it's going to fall any further, and it probably will fall further. But that's the one spot I think a bull lives. I think if I was a bull, I would buy there. I think there are buyers there. There's nothing I can show you to prove it, right? You guys remember that? And I went through a bunch of charts, but I'm like, there's nothing there for me to show you that there are bulls there, except I know there's bulls there, right? So be cautious. And then we get this rolling, but also on this Friday, okay, that's another swing long. And I'm not sure if we talked about that one, but we talked about other pairs. But, you know, I know on a Friday that if I was going here next week, maybe, you know, I might have did talk about that on non-farm payrolls. I did talk, didn't I? I did point out a whole bunch of like buy zones for Monday. Remember? I said at non-farm payrolls, the volatility was ending. This was sort of in the third half of the presentation. And I'm like, look, I'm already thinking about what I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right? I may have said something like, you know, you might be buying it now and taking profit Thursday. Well, I'm sorry, it was Wednesday, right? Was anybody, am I wrong, or am I just making this up in my brain? But I'm pretty sure I did stuff like that. Maybe it wasn't this pair, but it was similar pairs, no? Like, I'm okay if I didn't, just let me know. I mean, look, I say a lot of things, right? So that was a 3-hour webinar. I mean, my mind melts when I do all of that, right? So I'm just saying there's clues there that's happening, right? So you can also, and then let me add a tertiary level of complexity. This is an important area as I have marked out, but this is an important area as I've marked out. And the reason it's important is it's the same thing. These two blue lines are the same thing. Well, Chuck, it was a long webinar, right? To me, those two blue lines are the same thing, except for one key difference. Does anybody know what that is? They're the same thing to me. Yes, Chuck's got it. The lower one is for bulls, the upper one's for bears. So I still don't know where we're going to end the month of March. According to this, there's no way to know. So I can tell you, I don't know where the direction is. But I can tell you, I know the direction where we have been going, but it doesn't tell me whether the market is bull or bear. In fact, it just tells me we're sideways from a longer point of view. I'm not talking a 15-minute chart here. I'm not talking an hourly chart here. I'm talking about like the next 2 weeks worth of trading. It's indeterminate, and that is a proper answer. So when you're doing macro or even microeconomics, there are models that you have to learn, you know, and it'll ask you, you know, if this happens, what's the likely consequence, right? And it's essentially, you could say something like bullish or bearish or indeterminate. Like, for example, shifts in curves. I hope you don't mind. Let me turn this off for a second. Let's just do a very quickly impromptu economics class, right? So, for example, okay, quantity and price, okay? Let's just do it that way. Okay, great. You have a curve, demand curve, and then you have a supply curve. Okay, we're all good. This says if things are expensive, you buy very little. If things are cheaper, you buy more units, quantity. So you buy 5 units here. If things are really cheap, I'm just looking at the demand curve here, right? Right? So for example, $100,000 Mercedes, they only sell that many units per year. If they put the Mercedes on sale for $50,000, the same Mercedes, they sell a heck of a lot more. And of course, how many? I mean, it may not be 500%. It could be 200%. It could be 10,000% more than when you cut the price in half. You don't sell twice as much. You might sell way more, right? That shows the slope of the demand curve, right? But anyways, and then let's say if the price falls even further, you can buy a brand new Mercedes from the dealership. It was $100,000 yesterday, but it's on sale for $10,000. Do you think sales would go up? Yeah. So one of the tricks in your one of the questions you'll get in a basic macro or just a basic economics class, they'll say, why does the demand curve shift or slope downward? There's the answer. I just gave you the answer, right? Okay, great, fine. So let's do, what should we shift? Let's just shift this. Demand goes up. Okay, from this equilibrium, P1. I hope I do this right, by the way. I never know until I do it. To suddenly demand increases. So demand, quantity demanded, is shifting this way from 5 to 10, let's say, or 5 to 8. Okay, so now demand is picked up. What happens to the price? We've gone from P1 to P2, right? Price has gone up. Shoot, this isn't going to work, right? Oh, so, am I going to mess this up? Hopefully this works. So Mercedes starts to produce more. So we go from supply 1 to supply 2, right? So now right? The supply is still 8. Wait, did I mess this up? Let me think. Oh, yeah, I don't want to do this. Wait, hopefully what if I do it this way? So this is supply 2. What happens? So we started here. We ended up here, and then we got back to either here, but it could have been here, or it could have been here. We don't know how much supply we lose. It's indeterminate, right? You could get back to the same quantity, but price could rise and stuff. So it's, let me do it one more time in a different color. We started here, demand changed, and because demand changed, supply will change, because the suppliers could say, wow, right? Where there's a shortage, or, oh, wow, let's make more or something. So anyways, so you can get back to some level as supply responds to the increase in demand. And so you know that quantity demanded will go up at some point, and then you'll know the price will go up. But as price goes up, now you don't know how many new units might adjust at the new price. And so this third part of the model is really indeterminate. So you can say, well, quantity demanded will go up, right? And price will go up. But then, so quantity will go up, price will go up. And then the third part is supply adjusts, then the last part is indeterminate. I don't know. It's a legitimate answer. Hopefully I didn't screw that up too bad. See, I should plan these things, right? So someday I'll plan these out. Okay, we had a scalp, just a scalp, high volatility event-driven strategy, only a scalp. And under my rules of engagement, I'm only allowed to do one thing. And I think I bought this yesterday, only because the dollar weakened across the board, and the response seemed to me that the euro went up. I don't know where it was. Was it here? Must have been here. So I bought there, and I think the target was here based on this stuff, and that it's a monthly pivot point. And at the time, we thought the buy was here. So based on where the buyers bought, this is where they were going, right? Everybody with me now? So to what degree did this work out? Well, we didn't get to the proper target. You know what? This is not retail sales. Let me go back. I think looking at this, it was more like this move, wasn't it? Yeah, the earlier one was CPI, and it did work out. All right. This one did not work out. But do you see the potential and then why it failed as well? And do you see why you use things like stop losses and stuff? So remember, there's no real fundamental decision. It's not a long-term trade. You're supposed to get in quick and get out quick, right? That's what a scalp is. So the last one worked out. If you remember, it took off here, it came back, it gave you a roll reversal. I think it was a 618. It predicted a 1382, and it got you out here. Beautiful, worked perfectly. Right? So in this case, this is retail sales. Number was bad. Came back. I think we bought it in this roll reversal. Went up to break even. And this is where I call, in the book, I call it the line in the sand, right? And this is where the bayonet charge happens. Right? This move here. Charge! And if you're going to fail, you're going to fail there, right? Is that how it's explained in the book? Something like that. You have to choose to be a sniper, right? Or charge the line with a bayonet. I think is the analogy. But if it's going to fail, it's fail here. So you either, if you can, jam your stop at break even, or your stop is basically down here, right? And I think that's where I put it, didn't I? I think you saw me. I bought it, and I did something like this. I went, where's my drawing tool now? Oh, delete. I think I went, right? And I was in here. Okay. No, why would I always trade Euro to USD? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, Juan. Come on, Juan. What should we do? Well, first of all, you'd have to line up your biases. you should also do a relative strength exercise. So for example, what if I was bearish on the euro? Why would I scalp that if I up? See, I happen to be bullish on the euro. I happen to be bearish on the dollar. So it's okay for me to do that. Okay? But do I always do it? No, if I thought this was going to come down long term, I certainly wouldn't do it. Okay? I would go do something else. Yeah. No, you got to line up the strong versus the weak. And a lot of people forget this. I mean, you make a valid point. A lot of people forget this. And they make a mistake. They end up buying things because it looks bullish. But if you had a bias, you would know it's not bullish at all. So you end up, getting into like a video game mentality, and it's all technical analysis, it's all price action, and you're always doing it, right? But it's not the right thing to do, right? So in my book, I have a section called the Greenback Guru. Where is this? Scary Carry, Power Yen, Forex Economics. I could probably update that section now. I'm a little smarter. House of Cards. Ooh, sounds scary. Petrodollars? Get out of here. I wrote about petrodollars. La, 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 la. Boot Camp Credo. I don't know where the Greenback Guru is. Exchange. Global money flow. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Spy plane view. Oh my God. Get out of here. Wow. Basic training, strategic analysis. I know where it. Anybody know? Scary carry, the carry trade. That wouldn't be it. Forex and the Fed. Commodity correlations. Here it is, chapter 7. That is 83. All right. Here's the answer to your question, sir. Chapter 7. Greenback Guru. Why you should specialize in trading US dollars. Okay? Juan, that chapter's for you, bro. Okay? And it gives very specific reasons. Look at this. This almost looks intelligent. It gives you very specific reasons why you should specialize in the US dollar. But what that also means is you wouldn't trade. Look at this. Look, this is like big boy stuff. This is cool. You're not trading euro dollar. No, that's all right. No, look, I give you love because I love you. Now, sometimes it's tough love, but I'm driving through to a point here. You don't trade the euro USD every time. That's not what you need to do when you begin. You need to trade the US dollar every time. So what you should do is do your analysis, and that's what I talked about in there. You do your analysis, you create a bias. You're either a bull on the US dollar or a bear. Nothing else. I don't care about euro dollar. I want you to care about the dollar. Now you become a specialist in this. You spend the next year devouring all kinds of information about the US dollar. In particular, fundamental. Don't read the stuff like the dollar's worthless, it's the end of the world, we're all going to go to a gold system again. Don't read that. But learn about fundamental analysis and economic analysis of the US dollar. Okay, and create a bias. Once you're done with that, let's say you're a bull on the dollar. Okay, I'll just flip a coin. Okay, I'm a bull on the dollar, and I'm a bull on the dollar for the next year. Okay? Bull on the dollar. And I'm watching this, and it spikes after a bad retail sales. Do I buy euro USD? It reacts like it's going up. Do you buy it? No. No, Juan. Why not? You see a beautiful green candle, the news takes the spike, it's moving up nicely. Why do you not buy the euro dollar? No, no, I just told you, you're a bull on the dollar. Why would you be selling the dollar? Just because the euro dollar is going up? So what? Goes up and down all the time. Who cares? Unless I messed it up. I thought I said it was bull on the dollar. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. Well, my actual bias might be different. I'm giving you an example. Okay. In my example, Juan, right, is a bull on the dollar. How about that? Juan sees the news come out. Juan sees the euro dollar skyrocket, and he's like, ha, that's so stupid. What kind of idiots buy this? Why? Because of the retail sales? These guys are idiots. Bunch of amateur monkey heads, right? Juan's smarter than this. Juan has a bias. He's spent days and weeks and months analyzing the US dollar. He's a bull in the US dollar. And he's like, this is going up. This is ridiculous. What a bunch of idiots. The market is clearly wrong. Juan is clearly right. So Juan's doing things like, okay, I'm a bull in the dollar. I see euro going up. So I would like to sell, let's say, here or here. Just need 5A cross down. Just need to sell role reversals, right? Sell, 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 sell. Sell, 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 sell. Okay? And that's it. And that's Warren's claim. Now, if euro doesn't do it, you're looking at pound dollar. Maybe you can sell the pound dollar. Maybe you could buy USD Swiss franc. Maybe you could buy USD yen. Maybe you can sell Aussie dollar. Maybe you could sell Kiwi dollar. Maybe you could buy USD Mexican peso. Maybe you can buy USD Turkish lira. You see where I'm going? Because you've specialized, you have a bias. Because you have a bias, you'll either not trade or you'll most likely make money. That's the answer, Juan. And the cool thing is I wrote that down for the world to know 10 years ago now. Well, I actually wrote it 11 years ago. It was published 10 years ago. That's pretty smart stuff for 10 years ago. Or I think. I'm looking at that. I'm like, I wrote that? There was like tables and stuff in there. Okay? Yeah, so do I always trade euro dollar? No, I always trade dollar. I'm a dollar specialist. I'm a greenback guru. And then over time, I did the same for like yen. And now my world basically revolves around either the yen or the dollar. As I showed you yesterday, there was a couple of years there where I also specialized in the Aussie dollar. I wake up in the morning, sell the Aussie dollar, make money, go to bed rich. Wake up in the morning, sell the Aussie dollar. Wake up in the morning, right? Go to bed rich. It was great. Now we don't have that kind of flow, so I'm like, Hey, you guys can hear that? Hello? They are putting together my movie theater because they're underneath me right now. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully it's not like this every day. I might have to say whatever. They're also building a new office for me, and I'm like, I need a bathroom near my office. And they're like, okay, we'll build a bathroom. And then I'm like, and I need a kitchen near my office. They're like, all right, well, we'll build a kitchen. So they're building all this stuff down, whatever. Cool. Okay. Gold. So I think the thing to worry about with Kudlow and Trump is that they are protectionist. Kudlow is the type of guy that's going to say, punish China, buy the dollar, sell gold. So this might ruin my beautiful seasonality. So I need to be very careful and cautious and see how this develops. Because I've lived in a world of free markets for so long that I've got a feel for it. But the world might be changing, bro. February import price is 0.4% versus 0.2% expected. Year over year, 3.5 as expected. Initial jobless claims, 2. Blah, 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 blah. Great. Got it. I know it's good. My rhymes are tight. You wish you could. So anyways, poopy diapers. I think that's risk for me. Now what? Trade the news. Philly Fed 22 versus 23. Woo! 24 prior. 24. Oh, new orders. Yeah. Okay. Okay. LJPC, a public offering. I don't even know who that is. All right. Cool. So we need to be careful in here as economists. By the way, have you ever responded to someone when they say, what do you do? You're like, oh, I'm an economist and I'm a trader. I like fixed income, commodities, and currencies based on trends in macroeconomics. Yeah, that's the one I often use as well. I buy and sell money. I'm a money pimp. I'm the prophet of profit. I'm colder than cold. Right? Or is it cooler than cool? I'm cooler than cool. I'm ice cold. So anyways, what does this mean? Buy the dollar, sell gold. I got to be careful on this. Truly, honestly, I've been my trading life and I think my entire life, we've been generally in an open market system. But if we close borders, that will probably increase inflation. That'll probably increase interest rates. The currency will probably not act so much like a reserve currency. And in this case, its value would probably go up. Ted, I would never say I'm an insurance salesman. I'd say I'm a reinsurance salesman, right? I sell insurance to insurance companies. I'm a lawyer for lawyers. Right. What else could be bad? I've started I'm a lobbyist for the porn industry. That would be great, right? I'm a Washington D.C. lobbyist for the adult film industry. No, actually, people see my screens and they're like, "What do you do?" And I say that I do security consulting for the Israeli army, and they're like, "Wow." I actually say it from time to time. The plumber looks at me, he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's really top level stuff, you know. I can't tell you anymore. We'll just leave it at that, okay?" So boy, Kudlow might make gold fall. Kudlow might make the dollar rise. It's well known that that's his point of view. So that's a risk for me because I have to move from a relatively open free market system to a little bit more protectionism. And I guess we're going to turn into a socialist pig dog European type system. I don't know. I don't know what to say. So we got to be careful, right? So I'm very open-minded that everything I know might be out the window. But the thing is, I know a lot, so I can grow and I can adjust. Well, I think it's reason to be cautious, Juan. That's all. I think our models. See, here's the thing. What if you don't update your model, and your model still thinks like the future is like the past? I'm just saying we need to at least pay attention that our assumptions may no longer be completely valid, and that we move cautiously and not just be so brazen with our assumptions. Okay. 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 That move is gone, but this is good. Right? You see that? Well, Alex, so the inflation number is like 2.2 and stuff. Yeah, but who knows? These things may change, right? I think I might have to put a rule: no hammering before 9 a.m. So what do we see here? How are we going to react? Do you see the Monday morning entry? Right, you see that? The Monday morning entry says the top is supposed to be 1.30012. So 1.30 and a pip. Okay. Do you see that bears had one shot? It was a good shot, and it even worked out. On a smaller time, right? Looks like it was about yay. 44 pips. Can you see that on a smaller time frame, bears had an opportunity to make money? Here, bulls bought it back. See, perfect top for bears, perfect 618 for bulls, and the whole thing's done. If you had done your job properly, you had opportunities to make money no matter whether you're a bull or a bear. If you're a bear, you probably didn't make money, but you had the opportunity to make money. Okay? That's very, 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 very important. Okay? And I'm assuming that this is one of the pairs we looked at NFP where, like, hey, if you were a buyer of that pair, the opportunity's there. Just got to hold it over the weekend. You could have done this Sunday. For me, it's Sunday. It's there. I mean, those opportunities are there. And again, if you miss them because you're confused, like, well, how do I know whether I should buy it or sell it? Well, the chart doesn't tell you that. That's why you have to write it down on a piece of paper and say, for this year, I'm a buyer, or for this year, I'm a seller. And I don't even really care how you get there. Flip a coin. I've been telling people to flip a coin on this decision for years. Flip a coin. And that's your bias for the rest of the year. Are you a buyer of the US dollar or a seller? Flip a coin. If you can't do the analysis of opening up long-term charts, then flip a coin. I'd rather you do the analysis. Even just technically, just make a decision. Not on a currency pair, on a currency. Like I did with Juan earlier. That's how you make the decision. Once that decision's made, and I think in that example I said to Juan, Juan's a bull. That's such an easy buy. It's just silly. It's sick. And you know the risk is going to be here because you know that's where the bears are going to sell it. You just know it. Look at the chart. That's what technical analysis is. I mean, that's obviously where bears are going to sell. And they did sell. But the bulls bought it back, and now they're getting paid. And where are they targeting? They're going to target this top. It's 130, but it's also a technical price action top. So, I mean, it's clearly resistance. Just like that was clearly resistance. So you know there are going to be bears there. You just know it. That's right. I don't have access, by the way, to like back office data from TradersWay to see where all the positions are and stuff. That's not where I get all this. I'm looking at the chart. It's a top. If I was a bear, would I sell the psychological level of 130.00000 when it's already been a top and it's a weekly pivot profit zone for bulls? Of course I would. If I was a bear, would I sell the roll reversal? 100% of the time. If it didn't work, well, I did lose money. So now what? Well, I'll sell it up here now. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? That is the name of the game about being a professional. If I'm a bear, I'm here and I'm here. That's it. Okay? And if I was a bull on US dollar, I would have been ready for this either Friday or Monday morning. Okay? Well, no, so Katie is going back to last year's model, aka yesterday. If interest rates go up, dollar will go down. No, not under Kudlow's world. See, I preface everything with the reserve currency. If you close the borders, like United States says to its two largest trading partners, hey Canada, hey Mexico, we're putting tariffs on stuff. They're like, what? And then you say to China, China, we're going to start tariffing you too. This is where we get cheap stuff, guys. So what happens if you can't get cheap stuff anymore? You have to buy expensive stuff. Changes the model. So if I can't get cheap stuff now, like here's how the world works, right? I go to Home Depot and I need a wheelbarrow. And they're like, hey, we got this one made in China. It's $59. They're like, really? Yeah, okay, it'll do a good job. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. 3 years later, I go to Home Depot. I want to buy a wheelbarrow, but I can't get it from China now. Now it's $259, made in America with American aluminum and little bits of American steel. Same wheelbarrow. That's called inflation, right? And China no longer needs our treasuries because we stopped trading with them. Why does China buy treasuries? To offset the increase in demand for the Chinese currency, which drives up their currency. You see what I mean? If we start buying stuff from China, we have to sell our US dollars to buy Chinese currencies to pay for them. So now there's lots of currency in the foreign exchange market, lots of American currency, because we keep trading it for Chinese currency. Okay? Well, then the Chinese currency goes up and the US dollar goes down. Okay? Now to normalize that, China buys our debt because they don't want a strong currency. They want a weak currency. So they're like, well, we don't want all these, we don't want the value of the currency to go up because then our stuff is more expensive. So now then they take their currency now and they buy the US dollar and buy treasuries with it, and that pays for our debt so that we can afford to buy more stuff from China. We've been doing this back and forth. You close that border and all of a sudden we stop trading with China and there's a China-American trade war and stuff. All of a sudden they're like, we have no need. Flat out, we have no need for US treasuries because Americans are not buying our stuff. We're in a trade war. So we'll start buying European debt because we're trading with Germany. So we'll start buying European treasuries. Like this is a problem, right? And the whole model breaks down. Who's gonna ride your wild horses? Who's gonna buy your treasuries? And all of a sudden, guess what? You're like, damn, I gotta pay $259 for a wheelbarrow at Home Depot? Yeah, wake up. You're now poor. This is why I've been saying a weak U.S. currency happens when Americans are filthy, stinking rich. Because you're buying stuff from poor people. You flip it around, all of a sudden now you're the poor person. You're like, I can't afford $259 for a crappy wheelbarrow. Yeah, you is poor, and that's not a good thing. So I don't know how their model works. I don't know the Kudlow Trump model, how that works. I'd have to figure it out, but it's very Machiavelli. Okay. Machiavelli. You have to Google that. All right. So anyways, yeah, if I'm a bull, bro, you see how easy trading is if you do it right? If I'm a bull, I swear to you, I knew to buy this right in that price on Friday. And then you wake up Monday and you're like, oh my God, this is perfect. My only threat is here. So when we get up there, I think I'll move my stop to break even. And a bear's thinking, oh man, this is perfect. I see the role reversal over there. I'm going to take a shot here, probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to take a shot up here at the top. Do you understand? Like, that's how you do it. And everything else is just silly. And that's why even like, I don't really like trading the news. I'm okay with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of entertaining. It's kind of fun. And I like scalping, but I like scalping into trades because I don't like making 25 pips. It's like embarrassing. I made 25 pips. You're like, really? What is that going to do for you? Buy you lunch? No, I put 80% of my account on that trade. So you're like, okay. You see what I mean? Like 25 pips. You sat around setting up a trade to make 25 pips? Really? For what? It took you 2 hours? Hour and a half? An hour? I mean, really? How does that pay for it? You know, like it's just not even worth. But you know, sometimes you're sitting around waiting, so I get it. I love scalping into trades, but trades that are worth money. You see what I mean? So if you're a bull, you know where to buy. You use technical analysis to identify, in current market conditions, support levels. If you're a bear, in current market conditions, you identify resistance levels. And everything else is just noise or a liquidity event or something, right? All right, so you want Turkish lira. So do you know anything about Turkish lira? Like what's going on economically, central bank, geopolitical risk wise? Because I know lira is weak, right? Well, once again, be careful, Katie. Don't say the Turkish lira is weak because their economy is hot. You're telling me that the same analysis as I would tell you for the US dollar. Let me tell you, the Turkish lira is by no ways even remotely close to a reserve currency of the world, right? So you can't say that. It's a different scenario for them. So that's why I'm like, I get the dollar, okay? I get the dollar, but do you get the lira? And if you're gonna trade in particular up, you should really know the lira and know what's going on, okay? And I don't profess to be an expert in the lira. What I was showing you is in here, and do you remember, I never talked about lira for, I don't know, years, right? Until we got here. Does everyone agree with that? We didn't talk about it here, 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 or even anything left. But we talked about it here, and I said on this particular day here, hey, I think the US dollar is going to get weak. I think global macroeconomics is improving. I think we could start buying the Turkish lira based on what I think Europe is going to do next in this scenario. And we traded it down to here. And then we stopped talking about it. Right? And then it was all of a sudden like, Wayne never talks about the Turkish lira anymore. Well, it's not interesting to me anymore. It looks like we might have talked about it here based on this. Okay, I could see that. oops, I'm trying to draw this straight based on this, right? Yeah, I could see that. And all it did was get back to support. Okay. And then it broke out to the upside, but I don't want to sell Turkish lira. Why do I not want to sell Turkish lira? Yeah, I forget what it is, but isn't it something like the effective annual interest rate is 650%? And I'd have to pay that because I'm basically borrowing it, right? I'm borrowing Turkish lira to buy US dollar. And I'm thinking, I don't even want to buy the US dollar. And I certainly am not going to pay 650% annual fees to do it. So what could we do? Yeah, find something else to do if I wanted to buy the dollar. Or start looking for resistance. If you were a bear on this, how about up in there? Okay. If I was a bear, how about up in here? If I was a bear, how about draw some fibs? If I was a bear, how about do some monthly pivots? If I was a bear, I would look to sell it somewhere. Like maybe right there, R2. Maybe. You know what started all of this, right? 4.0. Okay? So you better know what you're doing is all I'm saying. But what if, and here's the problem, macroeconomics, based on the models that I use, suggests that maybe I do want to buy the Turkish lira if global macroeconomics improves. I covered this already. But what if the model's changing based on the people now running the US government? Then this could go up forever. Because my model could be inaccurate. I don't know if it'd be wrong, but it could be inaccurate. And who's to say, now is the right time to sell? Redonkulous, huh? Who's to say that's the right time to sell? Yeah, well, the model may be wrong. Like I said, Kudlow is typically someone that likes a strong dollar. It's very American. If you're a real American, you support the dollar. See, I'm a Canadian. And you come to, and a lot of people say there's not a lot of difference between Canadians and Americans, but then you get here and there are subtle differences. Like there's American flags hanging on everyone's front porch. And like, we don't do that in Canada. Like the jingoism here is amazing. Greatest country on earth. It's God's country. In God we trust. And they all stand in front of the classroom, pledge allegiance and stuff. I'm like, whoa. Right? And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think in Canada, we play the Canadian national anthem at hockey games and at baseball games and stuff because it's the Americans do it, and it'd be weird to like just do the American national anthem. So then they're like, well, we got to bust out "Oh Canada." But I think if it was left to Canadians, we'd just be like, no, we're good. Born and raised here, we're comfortable with our Canadianness. Let's just play the game, bro. Right? Like we're not Canadians have nothing to prove. We're just born awesome, but we don't need to tell anybody about it. Right? It's safe. It's a nice country. We weren't in the financial crisis. We got killed by oil, but that wasn't our fault. Yeah, we're humble, good-looking people. Fine, right? Like, come to Canada, eh? Just don't bring your dirt bikes. Like when I fished in the mountains of Canada, we hated the Americans. They come up with their dirt bikes and they rip up the country, and then they overfish all the rivers and streams, and they leave their garbage everywhere. They're like, frickin' Americans, right? So there are subtle differences. So like this whole idea, like I'm pro US dollar, America first. I mean, America first. I can draw it out on paper. And to me, as an economist, maybe it's wrong, or maybe I just got this wrong education, and like I don't think I'm Einstein, right? And Einstein, when he was coming up with the theory of relativity, he could look at all the PhDs and all the smartest people in physics ever to live, but currently the ones surrounding him, he's like, these idiots are wrong. They're just regurgitating the crap they learned in school, and it's just flat out wrong. I mean, I can prove there's shape to space. I can prove there's shape to time. And I can prove it. But the math doesn't exist, so I have to invent that. And all these other smart people are all wrong. I mean, think about Einstein. It would have been horrible, right? So here I am. I'll admit, I can just regurgitate the crap I was taught in school. I can draw the supply and demand curves and stuff and say, you know what, on a basic level, if you close the borders and start trade wars, there's negative consequences to it. We go back to like a European model. And that's weird, right? Like, so why does he want the dollar to be strong? Because he's American, and it sounds good on TV, maybe? I mean, I could buy that, really. So I don't know. But maybe by now he believes his own nonsense. And that can happen, too. So I don't know the model where this is a good move. But I have to make money. So I don't have to question what they're thinking. I'm not in charge. Why would I care what they're thinking? I just need to watch the market and interpret how the market's reacting to these changes. And I need to be very cognitive that my model may need to be adjusted. So I make money. So I still make money. Okay? So I think that's it. It's already 9 o'clock. Dude, you guys let me babble on too much today. What's wrong with you? It's your fault, not my fault. It's 9 o'clock. Gee whiz. But anyways, it must be my mommy fuel. Yeah. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Sorry, I babbled on. It felt good. Felt all right. A little off topic maybe from here or there, but I was up at like 10 o'clock at night. Then I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I was up at 4 in the morning. And then I was up at 6 in the morning. Sorry, 5 in the morning. So maybe it's just adrenaline or something. I don't know. Maybe I just like you. I like hanging with you. You don't talk too much. You're a very good listener. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to Hong Kong, but it's funny, right? This is the problem. I don't know if I'm going to Hong Kong. I don't know if it'll be today. I might have to buy a ticket today. I might have to buy a ticket tomorrow. I don't even know. And then I have to tell my wife, Oh yeah, you know that St. Patrick's party where we have, dozens of people coming over to the house? Yeah, we have to cancel that. I'm flying to Hong Kong. Yeah, I got to go. Hey, take care of it. You're on your own. Have fun with the kids. I'll send you a postcard late or gone. And they're like, who is that dwells in this home with us? We see him time to time come out of his office. Who is that? Is he a renter? You're like, no, that's the homeowner. Turns out that creepy guy is like, he's your dad. Yeah, that's the Israeli security contractor. So anyway, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, I don't know what's going on. All I know is I love you and you're my sweet baby, and my children don't know who I am. So at least I have you. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Cheers. See you on YouTube, by the way. Zip over there like right now. Oh, wait. Here's how we do it. Stay on Forex.Today, make a post, because it's going to take me 15 minutes generally. Make a post on Forex.Today, write down your trade plan. And then you'll see in about 15, 20 minutes, depending on download speeds and all this stuff, I will make a post on Forex.Today that can allow you to access the instant replay. And I generally am in the chat live, so it'll be on Forex.Today, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, because you won't have the link to the actual live chat, right? So to find it, when I post it on Forex.Today, in the bottom right-hand corner, you put your mouse there, and it says "Watch on YouTube," and now you're in that live chat. So I'll be live again in about 15, 20 minutes. So make your post on Forex.Today, and then look for the live stream post that I'll make in 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? See you on YouTube.